All right, gentlemen. Well, it has been the time has flown, but let's. It is now time for kind of the parting thoughts. So, I guess my parting question, for all of you to answer is, and for the gentleman on the public side, what would you tell the private people? And for the people on the private side, what would you tell the public people? And then we'll call it a wrap.
I think the Beatles said it best. Come together. Come together right now.
This should be our departing song, Nick.
I know, right?
But really, that's really what it boils down to. What is the overall mission? What are we trying to accomplish? We all recognize we have to be connected to learn, to run our businesses, to stay connected via telehealth, because we're telling people to stay away from the hospitals unless this is happening. So how do you still care for those people who might have a numb left arm, who might be having a heart attack, but not COVID symptoms? You're telling those people, stay away. And in order for you to do telehealth or prescribed medicine or whatever, you need frickin' connectivity. And so we got to come together. We got to solve this. I don't know if it's public or private or whatever it is, but the bottom line is America cannot be 20th in broadband connectivity with all of the resources we have available, all of the technological advancements. It's come together and get it done.
Love it. Mr. Worthen.
Yeah, it's obviously this pandemic has had us rethink networks like DSL. Those have obviously gone the way of the dodo. But the trend in the last few months is actually rural migration from cities, because they can seek healthcare more readily and it's more available in rural America. And I think that's going to drive more public-private partnership discussion. Why is this not solved for, right, in these gap areas? But the most compelling part of this is every network is a public-private partnership. If I don't go into a community and build a relationship with the utilities folks, with the city, with the county, I'm failing. And that needs to be a relationship where I can drop in and say, how are we doing? How are my guys doing, construction wise? You can't have a community frustrated. The next step is picking, if you find someone good to partner with, bet on that partner, right? Like, don't keep spending money with the person in the community that's not doing good. So that's just a compilation of my thoughts, but I think Zach's taken my position best as far as come together, find good relationships, establish those, foster those.
Awesome.
Way to go, B-dubs.
Thank you.
All right, our public gentleman.
So I'll build off a little bit on Brian's point again, because I'm agreeing a lot with what Brian's saying, so it's fantastic. But I think we're at this sort of inflection point with rural America, as Brian said, and we're seeing this in Idaho, certainly. I mean, it seems, I think we're one of the fastest, we're either one or two of the fastest growing states in the country. I mean, it's, we saw our jobs, I think, last year increase, us in Utah. So, I mean, things are economically are very different. And every community I talk to, large and small, is seeing increase in people move to. But I think in what I've seen, prior to COVID, the challenges that we had was that a lot of these communities were shrinking. They weren't seeing investment. They weren't seeing these opportunities. And so the challenge now is to the ring is being dangled in front of you. And now the opportunity for a lot of these rural communities is to grab it, and you need broadband to do it, because if you don't, you're going to be further behind. You're not going to, your students, your families who have kids aren't going to move there. Business opportunities where they can work remotely, which we're certainly seeing a lot of, from all over the country, who want to, if you don't have, 25.3, I mean, you're okay, that's great. But if you don't have even 100 megabytes down, forget it. And so for a lot of these communities, this is a challenging moment, because, for me, I want to help all my rural communities. And if they don't have a plan yet, If you know, so I guess my parting word is, if you're a rural community, you don't have a broadband plan yet, there's a point now where you need to get on it and need to start working on it right now. Now is the time.
Love it.
All right, he gets close
Oh,
into the
boy.
camera. Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, a very wise and good friend of mine once said, when you make the mission the loudest voice in the room, everybody wins. What is the mission here, folks? The mission is to get everybody connected, make certain they can compete and survive and thrive in tomorrow's economy and today's economy. If we make that our mission and not our selfish needs, we will all succeed. And if that mission includes that we partner with people that share that mission and vision, we will all kill this objective. All right. So I think I'm in line with everybody, what everybody just said here, which is weird because I don't ever agree with Worthen. But I'm gonna give it to Zach. Worthen just stole it from Zach. We need to come together. We need to partnership with the people that believe that the mission is the loudest voice in the room. And if we can do that, we're going to have success. Get the selfish interest out of there.
Awesome.
Nice.
And for our parting word, I'll throw it to our host, Mr. Hollister, to close us out.
Gosh, I mean, that's huge. I mean, when I was thinking about everyone's comments, it's just like, make it happen. Make it happen, right? I mean, if broadband is not at the very forefront of the discussion, every one of these small towns and communities, make it happen. It needs to be at the absolute forefront of everything you're thinking about trying to do for your community, and come together. I love that. I mean, because there is no right or wrong or perfect, I guess, opportunity of a cookie cutter approach here. It's come together, figure it out. Municipalities need to figure out when they can of how to do, long-term debt, right? To be able to pay these off over a longer period of time and focus on investments where an ISP is never going to be able to get that done, right? Middle mile, getting the network to the city. That's a huge aspect of it. You're seeing private equity finally come in to this market and think differently, right? It's not a VC, it's not a short term, it's long-term plays. Wow, wait, we have the opportunity to come in here and build infrastructure like a utility and see a reoccurring revenue stream forever. It's happening, right? So come together, figure it out. And it needs to be at the forefront of the conversations. And like Russ said, quit messing around with 10-1, 25-3. I mean, what the hell? Why are we even talking about that? It's stupid. 25-3 right now. I mean, yeah, I might be able to, have a couple streams going or this or that. But today, when people are working from home, I've got 2 kids, a wife here, everyone's streaming at the same time, and all hell breaks out when they lose their connection. And I don't care if it's the 8-year-old, the 11-year-old, or I'm not going to mention our ages, but it's like, come on, why are we still continuing to have this conversation of trying to motivate, America to figure this out? The good news, though, is we're trying to figure it out. More and more people now are at the forefront of this. And I think it's incredibly exciting time for us, right? But let's make sure we drive the right partnerships. And when you find someone to work with and it makes sense, do it. Quit screwing around. Make it happen. It's like someone said to me one day, it's all about making a decision. And if you screw it up, so what? Fix it. But make a decision. Yeah. It's all good, right? We've all learned from our best screw ups. It defines the character of how we come out of them, right? Make it happen.